Kids, good evening. Tonight we have a very special topic. This is a special request. This is an outreach. That's what I said, outreach. You see, America loves an underdog. And I personally just love underdogs. You know what I'm saying? Let's get under the cape and find out where the dog is. So I was so thrilled today that the Mitt Romney campaign called me secretly. And they said, "We hear that you're a famous gay person." And I said, "Really? Am I a famous gay person?" They're like, "Yes, you're like the only one in your county." I said, "I guess that makes me famous, huh?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What can I do for you?" So Mitt's campaign is like, we need some gay outreach. And you need to homo it up and talk to these faggots and lesbians and other things and get them to vote for us. So I'm like, "Oh, so you want to strategize?" I said, "Should I meet you somewhere?" And they're like, No, it's okay. You have carte blanche, just like Clint Eastwood. Just do whatever you want." And I'm like, "Oh, honey, you know that's right. That's the way to treat a queen. Give her all the reign." So I agreed. So here it is, my gay outreach for Mitt Romney. Now, queens, faggots, lesbians, dykes, bisexuals, transgenders, tranny chasers, all y'all motherfuckers. Are you listening to me? Okay, good. Now, first of all, I want you to hear that Mitt's team has a huge plans for us as a group. Not just as just gay men or lesbians or anything like that. They have this huge plan for all of us. And what they're planning on doing, because I did a lot of research, because I wanted to really sell this vision to ya. Mitt understands us. Now, often we know in the lesbian and gay community, in the transgender community, in the bisexual community, we have different needs. For example, lesbians tend to be high information voters because they're busy nesting and they like to be politically correct and very forceful and take stands. So they're high information voters. Your Rachel Maddows, for example, are totally into just the wonkiness of it all because it gives them power like a dude. I mean, think Yentl. This is like they have their Yentl moment. And that's what that's all about, is this power. So lesbians are high information voters. So lesbians, I'm talking to you. I'm going to give you some details. Now, most faggots, you queen, especially the drag queens are low to no information voters. They are so busy putting on makeup and doing shows and being fabulous, they have no time other than to hear some idle chit-chat from some of the older gay guys that have lesbian friends that talk to them a lot about it, so then they'll form an opinion. But most gay men are low information kind of folks. They just frankly, you know, they're busy being gay. They're busy being fabulous. They don't care about all this talk. And so that's why some of the older gays keep lesbian ties, so that we can kind of stay tethered to the earth in some way. But otherwise, you know. So gays, gay men, I'm not talking to you that much, just a little bit. So don't pay too much attention. Keep pouring your cocktails. Bisexuals. Now, you're so busy screwing everything that you don't have time for politics. And frankly, you don't care because you'll sleep with anything no matter what comes out. So you're like no information. And transgenders, usually you're on so many hormones that people could just sit there and blow bubble gum at you and talk endlessly about nothing, and you'd still go, because your mind's going. So just sit here and watch the show. I'm kind of cute. So, now that we've finished disparaging homosexuals, let's hear what the Mitt Romney plan has for us, because this is the exciting stuff. Mitt's friends, his policy advisors, have put forth some of the neatest programs for gay people I have ever heard of. For example, one of them came up with this really cool concept. He wants to corral all the LGBT community together, and he wants to put us, weigh us and measure us, and then put us in a plot of land, like how many people, like they do cows, for example, because you can only put so many cows in a field before the cows eat up the field, and the same with sheep and goats and other things. So you have to have so much land per person. So first they're going to count all the people, and then they're going to put us in the land. And they're going to put a big 100-foot high, triple barbed wired, electrified fence around our land to keep us safe. Because we need to be safe. I mean, after all, we've been discriminated against so much. So finally, they're going to find a safe way to keep us safe, which I think is a great idea. I mean, we'll be able to live safely. And then, besides that, because they don't want us to have any chance of reproducing, they're going to put a fence between the lesbians and the gay guys, or between the males and the females, whatever you are. So there'll be no male-female mixing. And then there'll be this whole other little kind of sparsed off land for hermaphrodites, for example, that really can't give birth, but also can't get each other inseminated. Whatever. I don't know how they're going to work out the hermaphrodites. They just might drown. But I digress. Anyway, so it'll be males and females. Now, in there, we're safe. So we can have our own fantasy worlds, because they're going to say we can do whatever we want behind our electrified fence. So imagine the possibilities of fun. We can dress up and be cowboys and Indians. We can have Leather Village. We can have Daddyville. We can have Twinkie Town. We can have all kinds of stuff. We can have it decorated to the nines. We can take turns farming and being cowboys and whipping things and dressing up in leather and all kinds of fun stuff. So for the gay guys, it's a great thing. And for the lesbians, you can just build one big nest and just, like a great big Home Depot, and you can just build one big nest and all nest together like a flock of lesbians, or whatever lesbians do, because I'm not a lesbian, I don't know. But trust me, it's going to be good, and you're going to be safe. If you want to get married, you can get married. Whatever you want to do, you can do. You just can't reproduce. Now, I know this is going to be a little controversial, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. The problem is with Romney's vision is that he doesn't know what to do with the younger people that come out being gay, because gays don't just kind of fall out of the sky. Heterosexuals usually have gay kids. So when kids get pointed at as gay, what they're going to do is they're going to drop them in on one or the other side. If they're female, they're going to drop them in the female side, and if they're male, they're going to drop them in the male side. Now, both genders have a history of pedophilia. Now, it's sometimes heterosexual pedophilia, but this is not what we're talking about. This is gay pedophilia, which is the worst of pedophilias because it's gay. So we're going to have our own little pedophile village for pedophiles, so that when the fresh meat gets dropped in, they can work them out and make them ready for the general population, so to speak. Because you'd have to look at in prison terms, but more bigger and freer. So this way we can take care of the trainees, as they say, and the women can do the same with the trainees. And they can fight over it and carry on, and they can make rules and regulations and whatever we want to do, but generally that's how it's going to work. And they're just going to let us die off in peace. And I suppose bury each other or burn each other or do whatever, because our families will no longer be communicating with us. So I guess we'll get, instead of internet, we'll get intranet. And that way we can communicate back and forth. And I just want to have you think about something for a second. Now, especially for you gay men and and transgenders and stuff that like men, because men tend to be highly sexual beings. And even some of you saltwater dykes that just like, are total pussy hounds. I want you to think about this really cool thing. Since we're all going to be corralled in kind of a limited space, think about getting on Grindr. It's going to be like fishing in a barrel with a shotgun. I mean, seriously, who cannot just get laid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And the nice thing is, the Romney folks, the people around Romney that have advised him about all this, said not only will it be neat and tidy, but we won't make a lot of noise. And this is a quote I read online. I'm not even kidding. It had nothing to do officially with the Romney site, but this was one of those Romney people. Not officially a Romney person, but somebody that would vote for Romney or tell Romney how to make our world. And he said if you left homosexual men together too long, that they would become mute because all the semen would burn their vocal cords and they wouldn't be able to scream anymore. Which I thought, that's great. How quiet. We'll be so quiet because we'll have Grindr and we'll have this big pot of men everywhere and we'll just be so busy giving head and we won't even be able to speak anymore. I mean, who needs to talk? And besides, drag queens lip sync, so they don't really need to sing. Perfect. And they said the same thing. They said, well, the one nice thing about having a group of lesbians together is that they'll die. Since women tend to live longer than men, lesbians will die off quicker, and it'll balance out because they'll be so busy carpet munching that they'll give each other these nasty bacterial infections that will take them down quicker. So in other words, there'll be a balance in the life expectancy due to bacterial infections. So they've got this figured out, and it's going to save them billions of dollars, and it's also going to save the American family and the American dream and the economy and keep us safe all at the same time. It's delicious. Why not vote Romney? Great. I mean, the world loves an underdog. And I personally sit out here in the country and tremble with fear for my safety, for my gay safety. So this way I know they're going to put me out in the middle of nowhere, but I'm going to be safe. And it'll be affordable to live because they're going to put me there. So it has to be affordable. Now all I have to do is teach me how to use Grindr because I've never used it. But we'll save that for another day. Have a good one.